welcome back to our Team Lotus F1 Manager Series, and we are now up to round 4 in 2026 in today's episode, and it's been absolutely perfect for us so far. 1-2 in every race so far, the first 3 races of the season, including the first sprint. So couldn't have gone better for us. But are things about to change, or are we going to keep up this momentum? We're soon about to find out. But if you're dropping back in or you're here for the first time, you like F1 Manager and you want to check out a series, what better way to do it than stay around for this Team Lotus series? So please do subscribe if you haven't already, and do like the video. Really does help me out, the likes on the video. So if you don't mind taking 1 second out of your time to smash the like button, I really do appreciate it. And of course, get involved down below in the comments. But as I say, last time out in Japan, it was another 1-2 for us. So currently, dominance in this Constructors Championship, with us leading McLaren, who are in second. And then the Drivers' Championship, very close between Ricciardo and Alonso. So it could be those two drivers fighting for the championship. But if you haven't checked out, not the previous episode in Japan, but the one before in China, so 2 episodes ago, go back on YouTube, check the episode before, 2 before this one, and we go through how we are updating the editor to help develop the AI's car. So the hope is to bring the AI's car and development closer to us, so it's not going to be as easy. We are, of course, on hard in this series, and we started this series with the lowest settings you can when you create a team, 2 million in the bank, no facilities, the worst car on the grid. But of course, if you play F1 Manager, once you get to a stage where you get the car in good shape, you very rarely go backwards. So we're kind of at the top of our game, so we need to help the AI. I want it to be challenging, so that's what we're going to do. But I think at the moment, we're still pretty much the fastest car on the grid. The next round of upgrades we're going to do in the editor will be in Miami, and that's going to be in a couple of races' time. Of course, the AI are developing their cars in-game anyway, but the next little boost we give them will be in Miami. But we are in Bahrain for this one, 11 days to go, so let's crack on to see what we need to do before we get back out on track. And we've got a driver development update, and Ricciardo has apparently improved his overtaking. So he's going up in his old age. He's been 81 now for a while. He did drop from 82 to 81 last year, but he's not dropped since. So we'll see if either Ricciardo or Alonso decline. Alonso's still 87 overall at the grand old ripe age of 44. So pretty OP if you ask me. Okay, sponsor plan. Looks like we achieved the target. How much cash did we get from this? So $2 million. Was there any mandatories? No, there wasn't. So that's done for this month. Got $17 million in the bank as it stands. And we are doing a couple of designs. Let's say we're not going mad on designs because we want a competitive season. So this month's sponsor plan, we will go with factory. Typically look at the ones that are going to affect facilities or staff apart from weather, because in case we're going to go a wet race, we do want our weather forecasting to be accurate. Let's go for that one. Pit crew fatigue, we don't really want that. Racing simulator. Colapinto, he could do that for us. That should be enough to confirm. Pit crew training for the month, and we want to look at that cumulative tab, this one over here, because this will show once we get to the Sunday how tired we are, and it's only 28%. If we get another rest in, is that going to do anything or not? Sometimes it doesn't. No, it doesn't, so we may as well not rest them there. And that's pretty good then. So for the Sundays, we are just dipping over into that tired range, but before that we are well rested, so that's pretty good. Total tab, we're reducing this chance of mistake, stop time, and car building, so we'll go with that for this month. Okay, we have our first regulation vote of 2026, of course, affecting the 2027 season. It's minor technical changes. Looks like it's affecting the cornering speed of the elements on the car, so either high speed changes or low speed downforce changes. Not too bothered either way we go on that, so let's just plumb for high speed changes. I say they are minor, so they're only affecting if they do approve the high speed, it will be minus 30% on high speed, minus 20 on medium, and minus 10 on low speed. I think that's the sort of changes we had for 2025, so very similar to what we had in 2025. Okay, another race weekend is upon us, and we've dropped in the targets here, haven't we? So perhaps the AI have brought some significant upgrades. Still says we're first for car performance, But typically for Ricciardo, it was, I think the last race was 6th, the highest one. It's now saying 12th. So let's have a look. And Alonso was first. So let's go 12th for Danny Rick. And we'll go 7th or higher with Alonso. So perhaps we are going to be a little bit closer here in Bahrain as we head to round 4 and begin practice in this one.
Track is green. Track is green.
Practice underway then as we start the first of 3 practice sessions in Bahrain, chasing down that perfect setup before qualifying. We've got a crash here in practice 1 in Bahrain. Looks like Enzo Fittipaldi and our old teammate Liam Lawson. Oh, Lawson, are you locking up into the back of Enzo here? Oh, you are. Going from bad to worse from Lawson. And that's surely going to be a penalty for him.
It's not going the way that...
Yeah, 3-place grid penalty then for Liam Lawson. Got a virtual safety car now in this second practice session. Oscar Piastri looks like he's out. What has happened? Oh, that just looked very sloppy, but I believe Oscar is out.
The team glued to the monitors.
So obviously terminal damage from that impact. Yeah, Piastri's out. There you go. Whatever damage he got from that incident.
Oh my, are you kidding me?
He's upset about it, but Piastri out then of this second practice session. And it's a 3-place grid penalty for Esteban Ocon for that. Okay, that brings practice to a close, and we are set up very well here in terms of driver preparation. As you see, 100% for both. Track acclimatization, 100% for Fernando Alonso. Car parts knowledge, 100%. Setup satisfaction, only at 97% though, so we couldn't quite get that perfect. Track acclimatization for Danny Rick, 100%. Setup satisfaction, 100%. But he's not quite mastered the car. His car parts knowledge, only at 91%. But both set up very well as we head into qualifying in this one next. Okay then, Q1 in Bahrain underway. And have the AI made a step forward here? 1-2 in every race so far for us. Are we going to be under threat in this qualifying session? As always, bank a lap out. Just getting past Leclerc there. A bit of traffic. Hopefully it doesn't hamper us. 10th between them. So that should be pretty good, I would suggest. As Bortoletto has a spin. Had a bit of a nightmare start to his F1 career. Quite a few mistakes in these opening races. And there's another in Q1 in Bahrain. Couple of minutes to go then, and we are looking safely through. Just waiting for that checkered flag to fall, but I'm pretty confident we're through to Q2 here. And there we go, confirmation. Any surprises down here? Not really, is there? So let's head on through to Q2. Straight back out then in Q2, and we are going to be using the tyres that we just set our Q1 time on. So they're at about 92%. Hopefully there'll be enough. If not, we've got plenty of fresh softs to bolt on if we need to go again. And Alonso and Ricciardo having a little bit of traffic there. There's 3 temps between them this time, so we'll see how the rest of the grid go.
Eyes on dash.
Before deciding if we need to go out again. Minute to go then, and we are again looking safely through to Q3. Checkered flag has fallen. And Verstappen down in the bottom 6 here. Is he about to be knocked out, Verstappen? Looks like he might be here. Yes, doesn't go... Well, he did go a little bit quicker, but not enough. So Verstappen out in Q2. So there's a surprise for you. So yeah, Max Verstappen joined by both Williams and Hulkenberg in the RB. The RB looking pretty handy this year, but Hulkenberg can't make it through to Q3. His teammate Tsunoda is safely through to Q3 though. Okay, we are starting our final runs then in Q3. Alonso on provisional pole. We did use with both drivers a very worn set, 80% tyres. So I can only imagine Alonso got a very nice toe on that first lap. And what is the problem here for Danny Rick? Is he's going to be hampered by Tsunoda. This is not good for Ricciardo. Ricciardo's going to be in trouble here. Because he's stuck behind Tsunoda. Not good for Danny Rick. Does go purple though through that first sector. Sets a 26.7. Alonso's hasn't popped up. He's done a 26.8. So Ricciardo has gone quicker though. So maybe it's not going to hamper Ricciardo. It's probably through this phase now though it will. He's going to get a nice toe, but he would benefit, really, from getting past Tsunoda. I think he's getting held up now. Norris has finished his lap. Goes a little bit quicker, but still only 9th. Purple again. 39.9 to 41. Ricciardo is going quicker here. But these two are now fighting. Ricciardo pulls to the inside then. He's going to try and make the move on Yuki Tsunoda. This could cause a loss of time. Ricciardo has cleared him. But I don't know how beneficial that will be. He's going to give Tsunoda a nice tow. Ricciardo across the line then. Goes P2. It wasn't enough. I think he lost a lot of time on that final corner. Making the move on Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda only P10. So Tsunoda struggling. So Alonso didn't go quicker either on those fresh softs, so he must have got a tow on his banker lap that we weren't on board for. And is that going to be it? We've got Sainz and Piastri to go. Can they challenge for pole? It's going to be Carlos Sainz first. No, he's into the pits. And Piastri is into the pits as well. So it is Alonso on pole, Ricciardo P2. But the rest of the grid look a little bit closer here. But we shall see in the race. And there we go. Fernando Alonso takes pole. It's Danny Ric in P2. A Team Lotus 1-2 again. Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari is 3rd. Carlos Sainz 4th, doing well as his teammate knocked out in Q2. Oscar Piastri 5th. Bottas 6th. Leclerc is 7th. Russell 8th. Lando Norris 9th. And Yuki Tsunoda in P10. Let's jump into some strategy then before getting this one underway. Okay, it is going to be the exact same strategy round here for this one. 2 sets of soft followed by a set of mediums to finish. So a 2-stopper for both drivers, so they are matched on their strategy. Let's jump in then to this Bahrain Grand Prix and see if we can bring home our 4th consecutive 1-2 finish. Bahrain round 4 of this 2026 season. And it's Alonso from pole.
And away we go.
Danny Ric from P2. Looked to be a good start from Danny Ric, but Alonso's going to hold on to it. And Lewis Hamilton, he's got a good launch. And looks like he's going to be around the outside of Ricciardo, although Ricciardo will have the inside here. But if Hamilton holds it on, he'll then have the inside for this left-hander. And looks like Hamilton has moved himself up to P2 then off the start. But Ricciardo not giving it up, and he got much better traction and reclaims P2. So opening lap, let's have a look at tyres. And the top 4 all on the soft tyres. Sainz looked like he started on a bit of a scrub set though at 89%. Piastri mediums, Bottas, Leclerc softs. Majority of the grid on softs. No hard runners. And no surprise at that, I do hate the hard tyre in Bahrain. Ricciardo on the outside of Alonso. That's brave. Danny Ric has done it though. Into the lead of the race. But Alonso is now going to get a nice slipstream. Ricciardo covering off early the inside.
Now been enabled.
Our 2 teammates
Currently
going
P2.
for it on this opening lap. Oh, that was twitchy indeed
Hamilton
there.
is the car behind.
As Alonso reclaims the lead, but we very nearly came together. He's got DRS to pull away a bit there.
And try to cool down the tires where you can. It's slightly coming up.
Alonso and Ricciardo fighting again, and again it's very tight through that first corner. And Ricciardo now leads. But again, Alonso will have the DRS. Is he going to do what he did last time and just take that position straight back? It's a lot tighter this time. Ricciardo on the outside might get better traction. And he does stay in the lead of this race. John, thanks for the follow. Up to you, but me personally would set it to where they don't fight each other so you can get a gap built. Yeah, the only problem is Ricciardo and Alonso are probably going to be in a championship battle with each other. So I could kind of let them not fight. But I don't want one of them to pull away from the other, if that makes sense. So we'll let it go for another couple of laps, but if we're still not got a gap behind us, then we will have to ask them not to fight and just hopefully pull away with each other. Because I think you're right, these continuous overtakes are slowing them up, which is allowing Hamilton to stay in the DRS. Got a yellow flag. Looks like K-Mag has had a bit of a journey. And it is K-Mag. Magnussen then.
13.
He's last now. He wasn't last though before this.
Oh, and the car locks up.
Big lock up at the front right.
The car by that.
And K-Mag drops down to last then. How many races to go? This is only the 4th race of 2026, so there'll be 20 races of this season after this race. And we still, even though they're not fighting, still not broken away yet from this the rest of these cars behind us. So we've got another yellow flag. Looks like it might have been a crash this time.
It's a fairly heavy accident.
Bortoletto and Lawson, our ex-teammate Lawson, in the wars here. Oh, in the inside and sloppy there, come together. Will either of them get a penalty or will that be a racing incident there? Noah, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Nothing flashing up about penalties, so we'll wait and see on that one. All right, so lap 9 then, Alonso continues to lead. Ricciardo's there, but as I've said, the grid is a lot closer to us. The 4th race of the season, the first 3, we pretty much dominated, but we're 9 laps in here, and Hamilton has stayed with us. He has abused his tyres, of course, a lot more. They're definitely a lot closer to us here in Bahrain. So we're due to pit lap 20 with both, but as I say, we'll have to allow one of the drivers in before the other if they're this close. Of course, if we get a gap between our drivers, we can double stack, but we'd need at least 2.5 seconds really to do that. But Piastri is coming back at us here. He's on 63%, but he's on the mediums. Hamilton's probably going to pit in the next lap or two, as Sainz is pitting now. I think Carlos Sainz was the first to pit in Japan, wasn't he? So that Red Bull and Sainz do like an early pit stop. And he is the first into the box here then, in Bahrain. As Leclerc pits. Hamilton only now stopping. He went too long, Hamilton, there. He lost a lot of positions. Hulkenberg in the pits as well. So Tsunoda's up to 4th, but he's going longer on this first stint. So he might be able to do a bit of an overcut. Maybe not on this first stint, but the second stint. So they are free to fight. So Ricciardo, you would have to think, is going to try one down the inside here on Fernando Alonso. And then it's going to change to the outside. Here we go. This is what we're seeing in the early phases. And Ricciardo reclaims the lead then in Bahrain. And he gets DRS to pull away. Is this his chance to try and break the DRS to his teammate? No, I don't think so, because Alonso is right up his gearbox. There's quite a few pit stops happening now then. Danny Rick, the latest of the late breakers. He is indeed. Or he was, we'll have to say. Kind of lost him in the later stages of his F1 career. But prime Danny Rick, certainly the latest of the late breakers. But here we go then. Fernando Alonso. Our first stop of the day. And we are going to come out behind a few cars here. And it's 2.5 stop. Not the quickest, but that's fine. Let's get Danny Rick in this lap as well. Where is Fernando going to come out?
Speed limiter off.
Box.
Okay. I'll box this lap.
Oh, it would have been nice to get out ahead of Hulkenberg, but that's not going to happen. What about Verstappen and Hamilton? Oh, although it is going to happen there. Alonso puts the afterburners on.
Norris ahead. Gap is at 5.7.
Hulkenberg, of course, his tyres up to 10.
Behind is Hulkenberg.
So Hulkenberg does squeeze past us. Alonso just got to get these tyres up to temperature. Might be worth just attacking just to get a bit of temp in there.
So you've got Hulkenberg ahead.
As Ocon's developed a mechanical fault. Quite severe. Is this going to help Danny Rick here? Alonso getting bogged down in some traffic. I don't know if it will, because I think Hulkenberg and this group of cars are going quicker than Danny Rick anyway. Yeah, by nearly more than 3 seconds on the last lap. But here comes Alonso. He's had enough of that. And he's back through on Hulkenberg, and hopefully he'll be able to retain that position now. Right, Ricciardo.
Daniel pit lane.
Into stop then. Hopefully another clean stop from our pit crew. 2.5 again, so at least that's fair for the two teammates battling away here.
We will be close to Alonso at the pit exit.
Pierre Hamlin telling Danny Rick he's going to be close to Fernando on the pit exit. There's Fernando. There's Danny Rick. I think Fernando's going to be clear, and I think Danny Rick might be behind all three of these cars, will he?
So currently P8.
No, he gets out behind Hulkenberg, but ahead of Verstappen and Hamilton. So that's key. Right, so where are we at now? As everyone's stopped, but everyone ahead of us stopped a lot earlier, so we should comfortably clear these once they make their next stop. To be honest, I think we need about 15 teams on the grid, but there's just not enough space at most circuits. Yeah, I can't see that happening anytime soon. As Ricciardo on the inside then of Hulkenberg, and he did that after the detection zone, so to get the DRS to pull away. So very nice from Danny Rick.
Alrighty. Nice.
So this is what happened.
Here we go then, Ricciardo clearing Hulkenberg on board.
There's the
Detection zone already taken, and then on the inside, DRS, there we go, to help him pull away.
Moves up the field.
Sainz is making his second stop then, so that's going to clear a car out of our way. Alonso still 3.4 off Lando. Might be a bit more once we get past Sainz. So I wonder if some cars are free stopping here, because Sainz is in for his second stop, and we're not even half a race distance yet. So that's going to be interesting to see. Ricciardo now in the DRS of Alonso. Alonso now in the DRS of Bottas and Norris. And can't quite get it done here. So we've got Lando Norris ahead of us. On soft tyres as well, but down at 40%, so we've got nearly double the tyre life than Lando.
Good job managing.
And we should have good traction out of the corner, but Lando is just staying in the slipstream of Bottas, and that's helping him pull along there. As Alonso goes for a dive, that's a bit too far back. Norris covers him off early there, but we should get the slipstream off Bottas now, so this should be job done here. And Ricciardo's going to follow him through here.
Let's go.
And Ricciardo makes loses no time there at all. So in his battle with Alonso, he doesn't want to be stuck behind a car.
Good job.
But can Alonso get this done on Bottas? No, that would have been nice for him, because he could have kept Bottas as a little buffer to Ricciardo for a few laps there. We've got good battery and fuel. We're saving that until we get some clean air once we get ourselves back to 1-2 in this race. And then we'll start to push on that. I never watched it, but apparently Mansell v PK in 86 got very final, which is why Prost won.
Behind.
Yeah, 86 is before my time.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah, I know quite a bit about the early 90s and then early 90s and then anything upwards of that. But yeah, before that,
Gap, 4 seconds.
I'm not going to claim to be an expert. Know the historic drivers, but I couldn't tell you what happened season in, season out. Ricciardo, though, on the inside of Bottas. So now both Alonso and Ricciardo have cleared Valtteri Bottas. And the next car up the road is going to be Leclerc. 41%, so he should be into the pits soon. Obviously, a safety car now would really help out the guys ahead. Not now, because Leclerc's boxing. But would help Tsunoda out. And we would probably box as well if a safety car happened now, because I think most of the grid would box. I was born in 82, but still not old enough to know what was going on as a child back then in 86. Yeah, it's early on. It's early on. I started watching full Formula 1 seasons in around about 96, 97.
Okay, tires are hot.
Understood.
Right, so it's just Tsunoda now then, who leads. Good old Yuki Tsunoda, and there he is, doing a stellar job in that RB this year. Side by side here. I mean, if we collide, that is just going to be, yeah, curtains really, isn't it? We're still side by side. Now we're having a drag race down here. But Ricciardo has got the toe, or has Alonso got the toe actually there? Alonso back into P2. And now Ricciardo will get DRS. Has Alonso got DRS on Yuki though? He has. Bottas and Norris into the pits. Alonso on the outside of Tsunoda. Is Ricciardo going to try and follow him through again? He's gone very wide as Ricciardo.
That is okay.
Alonso through to P1 then. Ricciardo's got to clear Yuki. He's got DRS on him. But Yuki's got DRS on Alonso. So Ricciardo has to settle for P3 for now.
Yeah, increase your gap again. Press and hold the overtake.
Actually, we don't want to attack too much on the tyres. But we can use this fuel and battery now. Ricciardo needs to clear Yuki Tsunoda. And he's about to, and I think he's going to get DRS to pull away, because I think he got that move done after the detection he has. So Ricciardo, P2, so we're back to P1 and 2.
It's quite hot.
And now we're going to use this battery and fuel. And see if we can build quite a gap then. Here comes Ricciardo then. DRS on Fernando Alonso. The Honey Badger wants to reclaim the lead. And he says thank you very much. Alonso not defending it too hard because he knows he's going to get DRS on the start-finish straight. Have in my mind April of this year, but I could be wrong on that. But I don't think he's officially even started with Aston yet. So I'd imagine Aston Martin would have just written off next season to a degree. Here we go though, Danny Rick in for his second and hopefully final stop of the race. And it's another 2.5. The team very consistent with that 2.5 stop today.
A couple of cars at the pit exits.
And is he going to clear Charles here? It's looking like he is. Here we go. Oh no, I think Leclerc's just going to get us. Just about then. Oh, what happened there? We didn't make contact, did we? We didn't make contact, but we very nearly did. And Ricciardo would have lost a lot of time there. Look at the gap. He lost nearly a second and a half there. Is that going to feed into Fernando Alonso then?
We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Who is pushing now?
And keep going with the liftoff.
And Fernando will have a little bit of a tyre advantage. Not much. He's not going to stop this lap. We're going to go in the next lap for Fernando. That was the strategy, so let's stick to it. But what we do want is a nice clean stop for the old boy, the 44-year-old now, in this game at least, Fernando Alonso, who's making his second and final stop. Ricciardo has got back past Bottas and looks like he is now up to speed. Oh no, Fernando's got a slow stop. The pit crew have ruined it for Fernando. No. We've had such clean stops all year round and Fernando really needed a clean one there. And that's going to cost him massively, you've got to feel. Because that was 4 seconds lost in that pit stop. And he's nowhere near Danny Rick.
So Bottas ahead. Gap 4.4. Lando behind.
And he's...
0.9.
Well, he's
17
actually
laps
7
remaining.
seconds off Ricciardo, so I don't think it would have been Ricciardo anyway, but he would have been only a couple of seconds back. But now he is... Well, actually, it's a bit closer than that now, isn't it?
Keep the head down.
Yeah, we were looking at leader. Sorry, it's 5 seconds back. So, yeah, he would have been about a second behind. So, he would have been in the DRS. Batman, massive, huge. Humongous boy. And Alonso under pressure then from...
Gap 3.7.
Alonso under pressure from Lando. So, this is a bit what happened to Ricciardo as we get our tyres up to temp.
6 seconds.
And Ricciardo now leads. He's past Leclerc.
And we're watching Daniel Ricciardo. It's certainly inviting.
And I think the pit crew
Press and hold the overtake.
may have just won the race for Ricciardo by having a very slow stop for Fernando Alonso. Alonso all over the back of Lando though. We're going to be forced out wide here. No, we keep it on the curves. We keep the foot in. And Fernando is back past Lando.
Tyres are in good shape.
Okay.
But that has been a horrible pit stop for Fernando. As is Alonso making a move here before we look at that. Fernando on Valtteri Bottas then. Need to not lose any more time, but Fernando can't get it done. Fernando is 4.2 off the lead. It's still doable. But he's going to have a lot more pace than his teammate. Come on, Fernando. You can push.
Keep your head down.
You can do it.
Let's go.
There we go, Fernando. Although
You're
Bottas
P3.
is going to come straight back.
Let's see what
Looks like we didn't defend that.
Keep watching Alonso with this one.
On board then. DRS assisted this time with Fernando. So easy enough there. But Bottas might be coming straight back at us here. And he is. Fernando, come on. You've got to out-drag him here. Does get better traction, so we should be through the S's ahead of Valtteri. So now, yeah, about 4.3 off the lead. Tsunoda is past Norris, by the way. We were talking about that earlier. And Tsunoda is now about 5 seconds behind Bottas. So can Tsunoda get to 4th place here, or is Bottas going to hold on? Either way, Bottas, 4th or 5th, will certainly be his best result of the season. I'm sure he's only finished 9th or 10th at best this year.
0.4.
Bailey, thanks for the follow, much appreciated.
Stay focused.
Here we go. This has got to be the moment for Fernando, though. Gets into the slipstream of Leclerc, who's looking pretty good for a podium. The Monegasque man in that Ferrari. And on the inside, even before we get to DRS, Fernando says thank you very much. But is he going to be under pressure now? Because he's given that slipstream, and now that DRS to Leclerc. And here he comes. Bit far back there, but he'll get a second bite of the cherry, of course. On this second DRS zone.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
I think we're good now, so we should be clear of Leclerc. So we've got a yellow flag.
Is now Leclerc. Gap behind 10.
Hamilton does have to pit. As Alex Albon in the Aston Martin has a lock-up.
At the 11th corner.
Ooh, we might have a bit of excitement here at the end of this one.
Very heavy on the brakes. And they'll need to be mindful of the effect that...
Alex Albon, that Aston, not great this year either. But as I say, it may change with the upgrades that are coming in Miami. So yeah, Hamilton has to pit. And he's on to fresh sauce. But I think Bottas and Leclerc are going to have to. If not, they're going to be so slow. I mean, Verstappen is 15 seconds back, isn't he, there? Yeah. So they could stay out and probably still finish ahead of Verstappen, but they'll be risking a puncture. So this is going to be interesting. But Tsunoda, surely in a minute, is going to have real pace on them. And Bottas was in the DRS of Leclerc. He's dropped out of it now. He's now in puncture territory. He's in puncture territory here. And look at his pace drop off now. He's in the pits. Oh, Valtteri, what has gone on at Mercedes? Where is he going to come out? I've tarnished it. Commentator's curse. I said he was going to get his best finish, top 5. But he's going to be behind Verstappen, behind Piastri, behind Hülkenberg, behind Sainz, behind Russell, even his teammate here. He will clear Lewis. Oh, dear. And there's only 4 laps left. He's not going to do much. Well, that's going to be the same for Leclerc. Tsunoda, Yuki Tsunoda could be back on the podium. I think he is. Because Leclerc is going to have to stop or he's going to get a puncture. And if he doesn't get either of those 2 things, he's going to be very slow. 27%. Leclerc's got to stop. He's got to stop. And he'll be out of the points. Some teams have really struggled to balance the strategy here. They really abused their tyre in the first stint, which we found odd, and we thought they were 3-stopping. But here we go. Tsunoda on the inside. Oh, it's quite timid through there. Is Leclerc going to stop? Going to have to get behind Yuki here. If he is, he's not going to stop. Oh, Leclerc, what is going on? Yuki Tsunoda. That RB is very good in his hands. And he is looking very good for a podium now. Just checking everything's here because I'm cautious. I'm not really looking after our drivers, but they're just sailing home now, 1-2. Leclerc can try and fight it back. Down to 26. I don't think he's got to pit. I'll be amazed if he gets back. If he finishes his race without a puncture, if he doesn't stop. He's not going to be catching Tsunoda now. Let's get on the tyre screen here. Leclerc, where are you? 25%. Tsunoda's now at 39%, but he should be absolutely fine. So, Leclerc's got to stop. Well, he's not going to stop now. Not this late, I don't think. Leclerc carries on. As we start the final lap then. Lucas, I think punctures only happen below 20%. 30% is where they lose a lot of performance. Okay, so he should be under pressure though from Lando Norris. 1.5. And they've not started their last lap yet. So is Lando Norris going to get past Leclerc here? He's now within DRS. DRS open then for Norris. You have to think he'll get him on the next DRS zone. Leclerc's tyres down to 22%. Absolute nightmare, but we've got to jump on with Danny Rick. Because I think a little bit lucky in terms of Alonso got a slow pit stop that was 6.4 seconds. But Danny Rick has always had the pace here today. It's very close between him and Fernando Alonso. But the Honey Badger is going to round this final corner. And just this final straight to go then. As Daniel Ricciardo is going to win yet again for Team Lotus. He wins it in Bahrain. And Fernando Alonso, his teammate, just 6 seconds behind him. Makes it another 1-2 for Team Lotus in this 2026 season. Norris is past Leclerc, but Yuki Tsunoda is going to get another podium. Yuki doing big things in that RB.
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
Verstappen is nearly on Leclerc, such as Leclerc's drop-off.
Well done, guys.
But here comes Yuki Tsunoda for another podium. It's P3 for Yuki.
Top job.
And Leclerc isn't going to get a puncture then. Just stays out of that 20% range, but his drop-off was mega there. But there we go. It's another 1-2 then for Team Lotus here. And Tsunoda joins us on the podium for the second time in 4 races.
That That was a fantastic performance from
And if you haven't already, you've got to smash the like for that to celebrate the win for the Honey Badger and the 1-2. And of course, if you're a Yuki fan, that deserves a like as well for him. So the full classification, Daniel Ricciardo wins it. It's Fernando Alonso in second. Yuki Tsunoda up 7 places to finish third. Great drive from him. And Lando Norris also up 5 to finish fourth. Leclerc dropped off at the end there, but he does still got up 2 places and finishes 5th. Max Verstappen, another one with a good drive. He's in 6th. Oscar Piastri 7th. Bottas does finish 8th. I feel that might still be his best result of the season. Sainz 9th. And Lewis Hamilton rounds up the top 10. And Daniel Ricciardo takes the fastest lap. George Russell finishing out the points. Mercedes really struggling this year in terms of race pace. They just got, well, and qualifying, but yeah, just not scoring points. So Drivers' Championship, Ricciardo getting a little bit of a lead here early on. It's now 16 points between Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso, but our 2 drivers running away with it. But as I say, once we get to Miami, I think these drivers are going to very much be coming at us. Yuki Tsunoda holds on to P3. He's 13 points ahead of Leclerc in the Ferrari. So Yuki having a great start to this 2026 season. Leclerc in 4th, Piastri 5th, Norris 6th, Carlos Sainz 7th, Hamilton 8th, Verstappen 9th, and Valtteri Bottas 10th. So maybe he actually has had a better finish there because he's got 12 points in total. But Bottas, 12 points from the first 4 races and first sprint. The reigning world champion is very far off this title this year. So that looks like a very tough ask for him to become a 2-time world champion and back-to-back this year. Hulkenberg is 11th, Russell 12th, Perez 13th, and the rest yet to score. And interestingly, Sainz is outscoring Max Verstappen so far this year. And Constructors, as I say, at the moment, we're very dominant. So we're leading the Constructors. McLaren retain P2. Ferrari P3. RB do move up to 4th, though, beating the parent team, really. And Red Bull, 4 points ahead of Red Bull, who are in 5th. And there we go, Mercedes, just 16 points from the first 4 races and first sprint. They were the dominant car last year, so really struggling this year with the regulation changes. Williams have 2 points, and the rest of the teams yet to score. I don't think we did any quick pit stops because we had 2.5s, didn't we? And then we had a 6 point something. So yeah, nothing on the pit stops. I would say the teams are very quick this year on the pit stops, even when we have got some 2.2s in there. Not been enough to score points this year. So they are doing really good work, the other team. So we've got a bit to do on the pit stops. And there we go. We fall down another place to 10th. So work to do there. But we are working on that, of course. So there we have it. Our domination and perfect 1-2 finishes does continue in this one. But as a bit of a spoiler, a bit of a sneak peek, that is not going to be the case going forward. I've seen the future, so stick with this series. I know it can get a bit tame, you know, seeing a 1-2 over and over again. So as we've been saying this series, we're doing things to change it. And as I say, the next few races are looking on paper to be very different. So do stick around. I very much appreciate the support. If you got all the way to the end, you're not already, do subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell to be made aware of all the new episodes in this series. If you haven't already, do smash that like button. Get involved down below in the comments. And we'll be back very soon with the next episode in this Team Lotus F1 Manager series.